I'm very good. How are you, Stefan?
Yeah, really good. I'm a huge fan of your work. I still talk about Neruda daily to all my friends.
Thank you.
Trying to get everyone to watch it. I'm going to begin. I mean, there's a continuing thread of some sort between between Spencer and Jackie, and that they're both about women who married into a very kind of powerful dynasty and had to live their lives in the public domain. I'm just wondering what it is about this specific setup and environment that appeals to you as a filmmaker.
Why not? No, just of course. I'm fascinated by the figures and their legacies and what they did, and as you will said, they were both women that were key in the 20th century, women that were linked to very powerful families, that dynasties, as you say, women that were married to very influential and powerful men, and women that had a very interesting and sometimes complicated relationship with media. But in both cases, a woman that were able to go through it, right? A woman that were able to find their identity, find their voice, and a woman that served as a lighthouse to follow for millions around the world. And that's what I think is fascinating. I will say that Jackie, I think, is more a movie about grief and memory, and Spencer is probably more about identity and motherhood. But they were both very mysterious, and I think that mystery is essential to cinema, and they were just really fascinating people, and that's what probably moved us to make movies about them, I guess.
I was reading that you said that you made this film for your mum. Do you often have your parents in mind when you make your movies?
Not especially. This one, my brother produces, all the movies I do. So it was funny. We were both talking to her and said, "Look, we were going to try to make a movie that you actually like, because she sometimes she doesn't like the movies that I do. She thinks they're too dark or too complicated or however." But we decided to try to make a movie that she would like. It's not just my mom specifically. Her, I obviously love her. I'm a lucky man that she has her around, but like people like her, what she represents, a woman that grew up with Diana as a reference. My mom has probably spent many years of her life dressing like her, or following her fashion, and cutting her hair like her. And when she died, my mom was completely broke, and it was always very interesting on her life and fate, and I think that happens to millions. I think that happens to a lot of people that feel reflected on her, because she was a woman that, even though she had was born to privilege and was born near the royal family and eventually become a member of the royal family, she was always someone that felt so close, so regular, and so ordinary to some extent, and that's what people can relate to, and that is just fascinating character. And why not? Why don't just try to make a movie out of her?
Yeah. Of course, it would be amiss for me to speak to you and not talk about Kristen, who is just phenomenal in this. And I was lucky enough to interview her a couple of weeks ago. She spoke incredibly highly of her experience collaborating with you. I mean, it's incredible performance. How proud of her, are you? And thrilled to have been given this chance to collaborate with her. I mean, she's one of the best actresses working today, without question.
Look, she's a piece of a genius, and she's very skillful, of course, as a very gifted actress, but at the same time is someone that has so much mystery, and it's someone that can carry the movie. She just put the movie on her shoulders and walk with it. It's someone that has an incredible enigma, and I'm very happy we worked together. I learned so much, and I also had a great time. She's really fun to work with, and we got along really well, and I would love to work with her again. Actually, I don't know. I just it's just someone that it's just very unique, and even though the very difference with Diana, they both have an enormous amount of mystery, and that's what I think the connection might be, because it doesn't matter how many things they say, it doesn't matter how much you know about them. you would never really know who they are, and that it's very important to us and for cinema, I think.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much. I could have asked you many more questions, but run out of time already. But thank you, Pablo, and best of luck with the release. And I'm sure we'll catch up again one day. So.
Of course. Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey, you